would be one, as now we join in singing our hymn of love, to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true. We would be one in living for each other, to show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow, a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service, with love and justice strive to make us free.
Northeast Georgia. We are a lay-led congregation of progressive minds and caring connections, where all who come with open minds and kind hearts are welcome. My name is Mary Teslow, and I'm pleased to be your service leader today. I am joined this morning with live music from our own Penny Brewster, our Zoom stage manager, Annette Watlington, our sanctuary tech support, Warren Riley, Bruce Brandsma, and Becky Thorndike, and our greeter, Bonnie Gramlich. For the common good, those in the sanctuary are required to be fully vaccinated and boosted and are required to wear a mask other than when presenting or for medical reasons. When there is singing, please sing softly to reduce any risk. Also, there's a bowl at the entry for donations. We have a concert this coming Saturday. Robbie Greenberg and the Listening Room will host a concert this Saturday at 3 p.m. featuring David Roth, who will also be our speaker next Sunday. Details are in the UU View. Are there any announcements on Zoom?
Sorry, I was not unmuted. Zoom is looking good. Carry on, Mary.
Thank you, Annette. Our fellowship is a light for liberal religion in the mountains that values diversity and the richness it brings to our community. Our celebration of diversity is reflected in the variety of our Sunday services. We hope today's service enriches your journey. We are fortunate to have our own Megan Van der Linde with us this morning to share how Pisgah Legal Services changes lives in Western North Carolina. Our opening words are from Reverend Emily Gage. This morning, we celebrate our second principle, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. You can see an abbreviated version on the banner behind me, to treat others fairly. In her essay in the book, The 7 Principles in Word and Worship, Reverend Emily Gage explains our second principle is a natural and inevitable outgrowth of the first, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Inherent worth and dignity is the foundation of our ethical behavior. Her essay continues with her experience as a prison chaplain and includes this reflection. Justice, equity, and compassion points us towards something beyond inherent worth and dignity. It points us to the larger community. It gets at collective responsibility. It reminds us that treating people as human beings is not simply something we do one-on-one, but something that has systemic implications and can inform our entire cultural way of being. Our chalice lighting is adapted from Marian Wright Edelman. Spirit of life, please help us remember that all the darkness in the world cannot snuff out the light of one little candle. Help us to keep lighting our little candles until a mighty torch of justice sweeps our nation and our world. Our opening hymn is 123, Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Thank you, Penny. Our offering words are adapted from the UU Church of West Brookfield, Wisconsin. May all gifts of time, talent, and treasure be gratefully received as a symbol of the many ways our life energy helps sustain this congregation and spread its vision and its values far beyond this gathering. Our offertory hymn is number 346, Come Sing a Song with Me.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
Thank you, Penny, so much. The dedication of our gifts. Gifts given in love and hope continue a cycle of love and hope. This morning, we are delighted to welcome our own Megan Van der Linde. Megan is currently the Highlands Cashiers Community Engagement Manager for Pisgah Legal Services. She works with area supporters, acting as a liaison with other service providers, and is conducting community outreach and volunteer cultivation. She moved to Western North Carolina in 2014 to work as camp director at the mountain. Megan's message this morning is titled Pisgah Legal Services, Changing Lives in Western North Carolina. Please join me in welcoming Megan.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm just going to get my PowerPoint started. There we go. So I am Megan Van der Linde. It's a big name to live up to. And I'm the Community Engagement Manager for Macon and Jackson counties at Pisgah Legal Services. In this role, I'm responsible for securing resources for the organization, as well as sharing the story of our work and impact, creating community connections, and recruiting volunteers. I've been with the organization for almost 2 years, and one of the things that I really love about it is that I'm continuing to learn more about the power of legal aid and what access to justice really means. So before we dive into the whole presentation, I want to provide some background and context for our work. Pisgah Legal started in 1978 out of Asheville. Our mission is to pursue justice through legal assistance and advocacy to help low-income people in Western North Carolina meet their basic needs and improve their lives. We work with people struggling to make ends meet. For most of our programs, that means folks who are living at 125% of the poverty level or below. The average yearly income of a Pisgah Legal Services client last year was $15,000, and many times that is families that include children. The majority of our clients are women. Women are more likely to live in poverty than men, and there's a lot of structural reasons for that. Women are more likely to work in jobs that pay lower wages and don't have high quality benefits. Women in North Carolina overall make about 83 cents for every dollar that a white man makes. And also child poverty is a major issue in North Carolina, where 1 in 5 children in North Carolina live in poverty, and we do prioritize those cases in households that have children. We work in different capacities throughout the 18 counties in Western North Carolina, but our programs offering vary depending on availability and scope of funding. For instance, we do offer our immigration legal services across the region, as we are the only providers of legal services to immigrants west of Charlotte. We have our main office is located in Asheville, and then we have offices in each of where you see the dots on the map, and our newest office being in Macon and Jackson County at the Highlands Cashiers Hospital. Our service area has changed over the years, and primarily because the driver is need. Before the pandemic, we knew that 200,000 people in Western North Carolina would qualify for our services, and there is limited legal aid resources. And we know that the right combination of funding and partnership is what allows us to expand. In Macon and Jackson County, there's approximately 20,000 people who would qualify for our services. In Macon County alone, 49% of our residents are living cost burden, which means that their rent or their housing cost is more than 50% of their income. Recently, there was an assessment for civil legal aid in North Carolina. There is one legal aid attorney for every 8,000 North Carolinian eligible for legal services, compared to one private lawyer for every 367 North Carolinian resident. So the Sixth Amendment guarantees the right to legal counsel to most criminal defendants where there is no civil right to counsel in the United States. Here is a list of all of our programs, and our focus areas are mainly housing, safety from abuse, access to healthcare, and income security. And all of our programs will relate back to one or all of those priorities. At its core, Pisgah Legal Services focuses on helping people escape poverty. And for many of our clients, the legal system is the means of solving that problem. The trouble is that navigating the legal system without a lawyer is like navigating an emergency room without a physician. It's nearly impossible. We are here to bridge that gap and to be advocates for those in our community who can never afford an attorney. And so what does that look like? Starting with direct services, our staff and volunteers help clients escape domestic violence, secure safe and affordable housing, find income security, and secure healthcare. We work with families facing homelessness, veterans being denied hard-earned benefits, victims of domestic violence, children with disabilities, and defenseless seniors, the most vulnerable folks in our community. These direct services are necessary and address acute situations where people are in crisis. In addition, Pisgah Legal also does community collaboration, in which we want to make sure that we have a full safety net for people who are experiencing these challenges. Where on our intake screening application, we will ask people if they have enough food in the house, and if they answer no, that automatically puts them in a referral to Manna Food Bank. We want to make sure that we're addressing all of these challenges. We also have community economic development work and advocacy to try to upstream these issues. We focus on things like affordable housing, increasing jobs, and building assets. That can look like working with county governments to create minimum housing codes, or providing technical assistance and legal services to startup nonprofits. We've helped create more than 23 local nonprofits, including Homeward Bound and Manna Food Bank. Much of our work with direct services is that working with that acute situation with people in crisis, which is necessary and important. But through the CED and our policy work, we're trying to get to the upstream issues and focus on those things to make sure that we as a community can be resilient. I want to share a video with you of one of our clients' experiences. Can we hear it?
I'm not getting anything.
Okay, here we go.
So without having support from these, from Pisgah Legal, from Help Me, I don't think we would have pursued, I would not have pursued a restraining order, I would not have pursued, I wouldn't have even known how to get myself into the next phase. And I'm college educated, and I have a lot of community resources. But it was so overwhelming to me, and such a foreign concept of the way the court system is working. Every time I read through the documents, you know, partially I'm sure because they triggered, you know, the trauma that we had experienced. But I literally would read it and think, I don't even know where to start. The other thing that I really appreciate about Joanna is I never felt like a burden or less than, because we were here in this free pro bono kind of case. Like I never felt like we were getting less than our very best. And that's huge, huge when you're trying to rebuild. You want to be able to feel strong. You want to be able to feel like you're all those horrible things that were said aren't true. So if you have somebody getting right in the process, whether that's a therapist or an attorney or doctors or judges treat you like you're an idiot or like what you're doing bad or discounts your experience, like it's just another like layer to your trauma. So this was such a benefit to me personally. And I felt like somebody really got it and was willing to stand up with me and say, like, no, we're gonna hold the line. We're gonna hold the line until we have the right thing in place. Be the best for everybody.
It's for microphone proximity, that's all.
Oh, there we go. That is just one story. I'm unmuted.
An important one.
Very important.
And then you have another one you're gonna find? Okay. Zoom didn't know.
Okay, that is just one client that we've helped in Western North Carolina. In 2021, we helped over 600 people here in Macon County, and that's after opening this office in the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. So we have capacity to help more, and domestic violence is the #1 cause of people coming to Pisgah Legal Services in this area to our office. I wanted to talk about where we are today with some other projects that we're working on. So in 2021, we secured a multi-year grant with Dogwood Health Trust to launch the Western North Carolina Health and Economic Opportunities Program. This expands our ACA enrollment work, which is to reduce the uninsured rate and expand free tax preparation services to reduce child poverty through the Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit. A key feature of this project is that the staff and volunteers will work with people who have such low incomes that they do not have to file tax returns to secure all 3 tax credit opportunities. While this is an ambitious project, we will continue to expand into our 18 counties, and we are hoping to reduce poverty by 5%, child poverty by 5%. And we are still in our early days, and we're already seeing incredible results with this. Another project we're working on is the Afghan Asylum Seekers Project. So asylum seekers must file an asylum application within 1 year of entering the US. And so the folks in our community that do not have refugee status or they can also, there's another one, the humanitarian parole, which allows them to be here for 2 years, which for most of them is August now or early September. Pisgah Legal Services had hoped that the Afghan asylum seekers settled in Western North Carolina would receive help to apply for asylum from national organizations, but we saw that that was not happening. So in the beginning of this year, we put together the project, raised the money to be able to do this with pro bono team, as well as our immigration team, to be able to help 40 to 50 asylum seekers submit their applications as soon as we could get them in. The hardest challenge with this is that the Afghans speak 2 languages and interpretation resources are not widely available for that. I just wanted to quickly go through the nonprofit financial pictures and other information. So we do have, this is for the whole of Western North Carolina and not just for our Macon and Jackson County work. We have an income of $8 million, but we have a diverse funding base. You can see that 36% of that comes from foundations. Those are private foundations who we work through grants. We also have about 25% are from individual donors, and then smaller chunks come from federal grants, our county governments, as well as even our city governments to work with them. We are always working towards sustainable revenue, and we have a total of 112 staff members across Western North Carolina. So with that, the resources in Western North Carolina, with the people that we've helped, we have over $22 million in benefits secured for those clients. So that might be home equity saved, child support, medical benefits payable to local doctors and hospitals. And that is all staying right here within our community. And that's close to a 3-to-1 return on investment for our donors and funders. We could not do it without volunteers. You would think that 112 employees would be, it's not enough. So we have a total of over 12,000 volunteer hours to include those people who help us with the ACA certified application counselors, as well as volunteer attorneys all across Western North Carolina. And that time is valued at over $835,000 with those pro bono volunteers. Now you want to know how you can get involved, because we need the community to continue to stay involved. One way is to give, to be generous with the money that you're able to help other people get out of the poverty cycle. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, spread the word. In a community like this, we know that your neighbors are the ones that ask you when they need help to find a resource. And so always just make sure that you let people know that Pisgah Legal is here to help, and invite me or somebody else to come have a talk with any groups that you might think would be open and welcome to hearing our message. And then we also have the opportunity for volunteering, and you can talk to me about it. And I really appreciate sharing with you today.
Megan, thank you so much. We are one of those groups who loves hearing about all of this, and our honorarium goes to one of the funds at Pisgah Legal Services. Our closing hymn is number 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Thank you, Penny. We will now pause our recording. Our closing words are from the Reverend Frederick E. Gillis. May the love which overcomes all differences, which heals all wounds, which puts to flight all fears, which reconciles all who are separated, be in us and among us now and always. Our chalice extinguishing is adapted from the Reverend Becky Edmiston. Some people say that great religious and justice leaders are the light of the world. As we extinguish the chalice, may we know that we can all be the light of the world if we seek to act in ways that enlarge the realms of love and justice. As we share this litany, please respond, "We are the light of the world." When we share another's pain or offer a comforting ear to a friend in need, we are the light of the world. When we give bread to the hungry or support ways to house the homeless, we are the light of the world. When we fight temptations to wrongdoing within ourselves and treat our neighbors with respect, we are the light of the world. When we overcome differences with understanding and solve conflict with peaceful means, we are the light of the world. When we look for the good in other people and in ourselves, we are the light of the world. When we do not stay quiet in the face of prejudice, but speak our minds firmly and gently, we are the light of the world. When we fight despair within ourselves and side with hope, we are the light of the world. When we use our powers justly in the service of love for humanity, we are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. Amen and amen. When we are together, we circle our round sanctuary and join hands for our closing circle and covenant. For now, those in the sanctuary may choose to join hands, while those of us on Zoom will join in spirit as we recite our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and community is its goal. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. So may it be. Thank you for joining us today. Next Sunday, we welcome David Roth for a sermon and song titled "Living in Harmony, Easier Sung Than Done." The service has ended.